Alright, guys, let's dive into this Manchester United vs Paris Saint-Germain pre-season friendly. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, oh, another friendly, big deal. But hear me out. This game was a real eye-opener, and it's not just because it ended in a 1-1 draw. It's the story behind the numbers, the strategic shifts, and the little details that make this match so fascinating. So, let's break it down. First things first, the main takeaway here is the impact of Bryan Mbeumo. Now, I personally think that Mbeumo is a player who's been under the radar for a while, but this game really showcased his talent. He not only scored the equalizer, but he also had 4 shots on target, which is a pretty impressive stat. What makes this really interesting is how he managed to shift the momentum of the game. After PSG's early goal, Mbeumo stepped up and showed why he's a player to watch. In my opinion, he's a real game changer, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the table this season. Now, let's talk about the other standout player, Amad Diallo. He was a force to be reckoned with, and his impact on the game was undeniable. He won the ball back high up the pitch, and his pass to Mbeumo for the equalizer was a real moment of brilliance. What many people don't realize is that Diallo's influence goes beyond just scoring. He was a constant threat, and his ability to shift the game's momentum is a real asset for United. From my perspective, he's a player who can make a real difference, and I'm curious to see how he develops over the season. Now, let's talk about the injuries. Mason Mount's exit after just 20 minutes was a real concern. Personally, I think it's a big deal that he's had an injury-plagued time at United, and this game was a real test for him. The fact that he was forced off with an apparent left foot problem is a cause for worry. What this really suggests is that Mount needs to be more careful and take better care of his body. It's a reminder that injuries can be a real game changer, and it's something that United needs to address. Now, let's talk about the goalkeeper, Matvei Safonov. He had a really sharp performance, and his ability to keep United at bay was impressive. However, what I find fascinating is how he left the pitch to jeers after escaping punishment for clattering Joshua Zirkzee. It raises a deeper question about the fairness of the game and the role of the goalkeeper. It's a reminder that sometimes, the lines between fair play and unfair tactics can be blurred. Now, let's talk about the overall performance of United. I think it's safe to say that they had a positive pre-season workout. They adapted well to PSG's style of play, and their attacking positives were really on display. The connection between Youri Tielemans and Bruno Fernandes was already clicking, and their link-up play was a real highlight. In my opinion, it's a sign that United is on the right track, and I'm excited to see how they develop over the season. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. This game is a reminder that pre-season friendlies are more than just warm-up matches. They are a chance for teams to test their strategies, identify weaknesses, and make adjustments. It's a real learning curve, and it's something that United seems to have grasped. From my perspective, it's a positive sign, and I'm curious to see how they build on this momentum as the season progresses. In conclusion, this Manchester United vs Paris Saint-Germain pre-season friendly was a real eye-opener. It showcased the talent of players like Bryan Mbeumo and Amad Diallo, and it highlighted the importance of pre-season friendlies. It's a reminder that sometimes, the little details and strategic shifts can make all the difference. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this game? Let me know in the comments below.